The huge chamber floated high above the bright core worlds of the galaxy. It was a giant circle made of shining metal and clear crystal. Thousands of seats rose in rows like stairs all around the center. In those seats sat the representatives of the Galactic Council. They came from old species that had traveled the stars for thousands of years. Tall beings with glowing skin, short ones with many arms, creatures that looked like living clouds, and others that changed shape sat quietly. Their eyes, or what passed for eyes, watched the center platform. On that platform stood John Harris, the human ambassador. He wore a plain dark suit. His face showed no fear. He stood straight, with his hands at his sides. The council had called this meeting to talk about Earth and its people. An elder from the Vorath species spoke first. His voice came through speakers in every language at once. Humans grow too fast. They take new planets without asking. They fight among themselves. They break rules we made long ago to keep peace. A delegate from the Krell, a tall insect-like race, clicked its mandibles. They refuse to share their tech the way we demand. They keep secrets. This makes them dangerous. One by one, others added their complaints. The Council had watched humanity for over a century. At first, the aliens thought humans were weak and young. Earth had only just reached the stars when the Council found them. The aliens gave humans a small place at the table, but with many limits. Humans had to follow strict trade laws. They could not expand without permission. They had to send reports every cycle. But humans did not like limits. They built better ships in secret. They found new worlds on their own. They traded with small species the Council ignored. When the Council tried to punish them, humans argued, or ignored the fines. Now the Council had enough. The debate went on for many hours. Some aliens wanted to destroy Earth's ships. Others wanted to take Earth's colonies by force. In the end, a calmer voice won. The elder from the ancient Lorani species raised one long finger. We do not need war. We will simply banish them. No more access to our space. No more trade. No more seats here. Let them stay in their small corner and fade away. The vote came quickly. Lights flashed on panels in front of each delegate. Green for yes, red for no. Almost every light turned green. Only a few small species that traded with humans voted red. The decision was final. The elder turned to John Harris. Human, you have heard the verdict. Earth and all its people are banished from Galactic Council space. You have one standard cycle to leave our stations, our trade routes, and our shared worlds. After that, any human ship found in our territory will be seized. Any human citizen who stays will lose all rights. The chamber became very quiet. Everyone waited for the human to shout, to beg, or to threaten. That was what young species did when they lost power. John Harris looked up at the elder. A small smile touched his lips. It was not an angry smile or a scared one. It was calm, almost happy. He bowed his head just a little, the way humans did to show respect. We accept, he said in a clear voice. A murmur went through the chamber. Some aliens leaned forward. Others made confused sounds. John continued, Earth thanks the Council for the time we spent here. We learned many things. We will follow your order. Our people and ships will leave your space as you ask. He turned and walked to the exit lift without another word. His steps were steady. The doors closed behind him. The aliens looked at each other. One laughed, a sharp sound like breaking glass. They break so easily, it said. No fight, no anger. They know they cannot win. Another nodded. Now, the galaxy stays safe and orderly. They ended the meeting and went back to their own worlds, sure the problem was solved. Far below, on Earth, the message arrived at the same time John sent it. The presidential office sat in a tall building in New Washington. Big windows looked out over green parks and busy streets. President Olivia Grant sat at her desk. She was a strong woman, with short gray hair and sharp eyes. Admiral William Carter stood next to her. He wore a simple blue uniform, with stars on the shoulders. A few other leaders waited quietly. Olivia read the message on her screen. She looked up at William. For a long moment, no one spoke. Then she smiled. It was the same small, calm smile John had shown. William smiled back. They really did it. Olivia leaned back in her chair. Yes, they banished us. A young aide named Sofia Ramirez stepped forward. Madam President, should we tell the people? There will be panic, protests, anger. Olivia shook her head. Not yet. First, we plan. Quietly. She turned to William. How long to bring everyone home? William thought for a second. Our fleets are ready. We have practiced this. 3 months to pull out all civilians from council stations. 6 months for full withdrawal of ships and bases. We leave nothing broken behind. Clean exits only. Olivia nodded. Good. No revenge. No attacks. We walk away like we said we would. She stood up and walked to the window. Below, people moved through the city. Children played. Cars flew on quiet roads. Factories hummed in the distance. Earth looked alive and strong. They think this will hurt us, she said softly. They think we need their permission to live, their trade, their rules. William joined her at the window. They never understood us. We don't need chains to grow. Olivia turned to the room. Start the recall orders tonight. Bring our people home. Tell the ship captains to prepare the special projects, the ones we kept quiet. Sophia wrote notes on her tablet. And the message to the council? Olivia thought. John already said the right thing. We accept. But add one line when the last ship leaves. Thank you for the lessons. We will take it from here. A quiet laugh went around the room. Not mean, just sure. That night, orders went out across the stars. Human ships turned toward home. Diplomats packed their things. Families said goodbye to alien friends. No one fought. No one cried in public. They worked fast and calm. In the council chamber, watchers saw the movements. They smiled. Look, one said, they run like scared children. But on Earth, in hidden labs and shipyards, lights burned late. Engineers tested new engines. Scientists checked big plans. Builders loaded supplies into huge arcs. John Harris landed on Earth the next day. He went straight to the presidential office. Olivia met him with a handshake. You did well, she said. John smiled again. They expected tears. I gave them a grin. William clapped him on the back. The grin starts now. Outside, the sun set over a peaceful planet. Stars came out above. Somewhere, far away, the council slept easy, thinking humanity was finished. The first ships left council space even before the full cycle ended. They moved quiet and fast. No loud engines, no bright lights, just steady jumps through empty space. Human freighters picked up families from distant stations. Traders closed their shops and loaded the last boxes. Diplomats said polite goodbyes to alien co-workers. Everyone followed the same rule. Leave clean. Do not break anything. Do not take what was not yours. At one big council trade hub called Nexus Prime, a human captain named Lucas Hayes stood on the dock. His ship, the Dawn Runner, waited behind him. Workers in blue uniforms carried the last crates aboard. An alien supervisor, a tall Vorath with silver skin, watched from the side. He crossed his arms. You really go? The Vorath asked. His voice sounded surprised. Lucas turned. He gave a small nod. We go. The Vorath looked at the empty stalls where humans once sold tools and food. You leave all this? The council will take it. Lucas smiled. We built it. We can build more. Take good care of it. He handed the Vorath a small data chip. Here, blueprints for the water system and the power grid. Free gift. Use them well. The alien took the chip. He stared at it like it might bite him. Lucas walked up the ramp. The doors closed. The Dawn Runner lifted off, without a sound. The Vorath stood alone on the dock, still holding the chip. Similar scenes happened everywhere. On cold mining moons, human teams packed drills and left the tunnels open and safe. On green garden worlds, farmers harvested one last crop, then shut down the domes. They left notes on control panels. All systems nominal. Enjoy. No bombs, no poison, just order. The Council watched every move through their spy drones. They sent reports back to the chamber. Humans comply fully, one message said. No resistance. Withdrawal complete in record time. The elders laughed in their private rooms. See? They know their place. Weak species always fold. But on Earth, things look different. In underground shipyards under the Rocky Mountains, lights stayed on all night. Engineers like Ethan Brooks worked on strange new engines. These were not the old fusion drives the Council knew. These used something called cascade coils. They pulled power from empty space itself. Ethan wiped sweat from his face and tested one small model. It hummed. Blue light filled the room. The test rig lifted off the floor by 1/2 meter, then settled back down. Stable, Ethan said to his team. We can scale it up. In a desert base in Nevada, scientists led by Sofia Ramirez built big habitat modulars. These were round pods that could link together like toys. Each one held air, water, food farms, and power for 1,000 people. They tested them in the hot sun. The pods stayed cool inside. Plants grew fast under soft lights. Sophia looked at the row of finished pods. We can drop these on any rock. No need for perfect worlds anymore. Above Earth, in orbit, the big arcs waited. These were not warships. They looked like giant cylinders with thick shells. Inside, they carried cities' worth of gear. Factories, schools, hospitals, animal farms, seed banks. Captain Lucas Hayes now commanded the lead fleet. His flagship was called Horizon. It was the biggest ark, painted plain gray. No flags, no bright colors, just function. Lucas stood on the bridge. Screens showed the last Council border post fading behind them. A young officer named Noah Thompson checked the jump drive. Ready for the first leap, Captain, Noah said. Lucas looked at the stars ahead. Dark, empty, no charts, no beacons. Perfect. Take us out, he said. The Horizon jumped. Space folded around the ship. When it opened again, they were far beyond any Council map. One by one, the human fleets vanished into the black. Before the last ship crossed the line, a simple message went out on every open channel the Council could hear. It came from Earth, in plain words, no anger, no threats. Thank you for the lessons. We will take it from here. The message repeated twice, then stopped. Council listeners played it again and again. Some laughed. Brave words for a dying race, one said. Others felt a small chill, but pushed it away. They have nothing. They will starve out there. But humanity did not starve. The first new system they found had a yellow sun and many rocky planets. No green worlds, no easy air. Just stone, metal, and ice. Perfect for what humans wanted. Teams landed fast. Big machines chewed into the ground. They built domes in days. Inside the domes, lights came on. Air flowed. Water machines turned ice into clean rivers. Farmers planted seeds brought from Earth. The plants grew strong under purple grow lamps. Ethan Brooks led the team on the main world, now called New Beginning. He stood on a hill of red dirt and watched cranes lift steel beams. A wind blew dust around his boots. This place tried to kill us 100 times already, he said to a worker. Radiation, low gravity, storms of sharp sand. We keep going. The worker grinned. That's what we do. Sofia Ramirez arrived on another moon nearby. Her team set up the first zero-point generator. It was a small black box that made more power than 100 old reactors. No fuel, no waste, just endless clean energy. She turned it on. A soft hum filled the air. Lights brightened across the base. Machines sped up. People cheered quietly. "First step," Sophia said. "Now we build the rest." Months passed. More ships arrived. More people came. Families settled in new homes carved from stone. Children played under artificial skies. Schools opened. Factories started. Ships flew between the new worlds, carrying food, tools, people. No council rules slowed them down. No votes needed for every small change. If something worked, they did more of it. If it failed, they fixed it fast or threw it away. Lucas Hayes flew patrols around the growing cluster of systems. His fleet was small but smart. Ships had good sensors and fast drives. They watched for trouble but found none. The council stayed far away. One night on the Horizon Bridge, Lucas looked at a star map. Dots of light showed human colonies. More dots appeared every week. An officer asked, "Do you think they will come looking for us?" Lucas thought, "Maybe, but by then, we won't need them." He smiled. Not big, not loud, just sure. Back in council space, the elders met again. They talked about trade deals and old wars. Someone mentioned humans. "They are gone," an elder said. "Forgotten already." Good riddance. But in the dark between stars, humanity kept moving, building, learning, growing. They had walked away. Years passed in the quiet frontier. The new human systems grew fast. What started as small domes on hard rocks turned into cities under strong shields. Lights glowed on dark moons. Green fields spread inside giant glass bubbles. Rivers flowed from machines that pulled water from deep ice. People walked streets made of smooth stone. Children ran and laughed in parks with fake sunlight. On the main world called New Beginning, Ethan Brooks now led the biggest engineering group. He was older, with lines on his face from long hours and hard work. He stood on a high tower that looked over the capital city. Below him, towers rose tall. Trains moved fast on thin rails. Ships landed and took off from wide fields. Factories hummed day and night. Ethan pointed to a new building far away. It was round and black, bigger than the rest. "That's the forge," he said to a young engineer named Mia Lopez. "It makes metal stronger than anything the council ever had. We use gravity to press it. No waste, no weak spots." Mia looked impressed. "How many ships can it build now?" she asked. 10 a month, Ethan said. "And they fly farther and faster. No need for council fuel stops." He smiled. It was the same small grin humans kept using. Not loud, just sure. In another system, Sofia Ramirez worked on energy. Her zero-point generators grew bigger. The first ones powered small bases. Now they lit whole planets. She stood in a control room with thick walls. Screens showed green lines moving smooth. A soft hum came from the big black core in the center. A worker asked, "Will it ever run out?" Sophia shook her head. "It pulls from nothing. Empty space gives power. We just learned how to take it." She touched a panel. Lights brightened across the room. Outside, the colony city glowed brighter. Street lamps turned on without flicker. Machines worked faster. People felt the change. Life became easier. Not every day was easy. Storms hit some worlds. Rocks fell from space. Strange radiation burned equipment. But humans fixed things quick. They did not wait for help. They made new tools. They tested ideas. If one way failed, they tried another. No big meetings, no long waits, just work. Noah Thompson led the science teams. He was quiet, always thinking. He found ways to talk to animals on one green world they found. The animals looked like big cats with 6 legs. They were smart. Noah learned their sounds. Soon humans traded food for help digging tunnels. The animals liked the deal. They became friends. Noah also built better sensors. These could see far across stars. They found old ships lost long ago. Some were broken alien wrecks. Humans took the good parts and left the rest. They did not steal. They asked first if anyone claimed them. No one did. On a small moon base, Isabella Morales did something different. She met with aliens who lived outside council rules. These were small groups. Some had one ship. Some had hidden colonies. The council ignored them or pushed them away. Isabella talked calm. She offered fair trade. We give you seeds that grow in bad soil. You give us maps of quiet paths. No tricks, no control. The aliens listened. At first they were careful, but they saw humans kept their word. Soon more came. A blue-skinned trader named Kale brought rare metals. In return he got clean water machines. A winged people from a gas world shared flight secrets. Humans gave them strong lights for their dark clouds. Word spread slow. Not loud news, just quiet talk between ships. Humans build. They do not rule. They share if you share. The council heard nothing at first. They stayed busy with their own problems. Old power plants failed. Trade slowed. Some member worlds argued more. The elders blamed young species. They blamed bad luck. They did not look outward. But one day, a council scout ship went too far. It found the edge of human space. The scouts saw lights, cities, ships moving fast. The scouts sent pictures back quick. In the big chamber, elders looked at the screens. They saw domes on rocks, green farms under shields, black ships with new shapes, no flags, no council marks. One elder laughed. Still small, still weak. Another looked closer. They grow too fast. A third said, we should watch more. They sent more scouts. The scouts came back with more pictures, more systems, more people, more power. The council talked in private. Some wanted to send ships to demand rules again. Others said wait. Humans had not attacked. They stayed away. But the scouts also heard stories from neutral traders. Humans fix broken ships for free sometimes. They teach how to make better farms. They do not ask for loyalty. It made their control look small. Back in human space, life moved on. Captain Lucas Hayes now flew a new ship called Starpath. It was fast and quiet. He visited colonies to check on them. He talked to leaders. He listened to problems. He helped fix them. One day he landed on a new world called Hope's Edge. It was cold and dark. People lived in warm caves. Lucas met the colony head, a woman named Ava Rivera. She was young but strong. She showed him their new power plant. It used heat from deep in the ground. We thought this place would kill us, Ava said. Now we have extra power to sell. Lucas nodded. Good. Keep building. They walked outside under a sky full of stars. No council lights, no rules from far away. Ava looked up. Do you think they will come back? Lucas thought. Maybe. But we will be ready. Not with guns first, with better ways. He smiled again. The grin that started long ago. In hidden labs, new ideas grew. Ships that bent space smoother. Weapons that protected without killing if possible. Medicine that healed fast. Schools that taught kids to think free. Humanity did not conquer. It built. It learned. It helped those who asked. The frontier was big, empty, full of chances. Humans took them. They did not look back. They kept moving forward. And every day, the grin stayed. Decades went by in the outer rim. Human space now covered more than 30 systems. Cities stood tall on once dead worlds. Ships moved between them like bees around flowers. Power flowed clean and endless. Food grew in every dome. People lived good lives. Children learned fast. Old people told stories of the old days, when rules from far away tried to hold them back. The Galactic Council faced hard times. Their old power plants broke down more often. Parts became rare. Trade dropped, because member worlds argued and fought over what little was left. Rebellions started in far sectors. Ships went missing. The elders in the big chamber looked tired. Their glowing skin looked dull. Their voices sounded weak. One day a scout brought urgent news. "The humans are not small anymore," the scout said. "They have fleets, cities, new tech we do not understand. They trade with species we pushed away." The elders stared at the new pictures. They saw black ships with smooth lines. They saw green worlds that once looked empty. They saw markets full of aliens talking to humans. No council flags anywhere. An elder named Zethar stood up. He was old and proud. Long ago he voted to banish Earth. "We must go see them," he said. "We will offer terms. They must come back under our rules, or we will make them." Others agreed. They feared losing more control. They picked a small group. Zethar led them. 3 big council ships, painted gold and white, jumped toward the human border. They arrived at a quiet system called Gateway. No guns waited, no traps. Just one human station floating calm. It looked simple, a ring with lights and docking arms. A voice came over the speakers, calm, clear, female. "This is Ambassador Ava Rivera. Welcome to Gateway Station. Please state your purpose." Zethar answered from his command chair. "We come from the Galactic Council. We wish to speak with your leaders. We bring an offer of peace and return." A short pause, then Ava replied, "Docking permission granted. Bay 3. We will meet you inside." The council ships docked. The doors opened. Air smelled clean. No guards with weapons, just a few humans in plain clothes. They smiled polite. Ava Rivera waited at the end of the hall. She was tall, with dark hair tied back. Her eyes were steady. Next to her stood Fleet Commander Ethan Brooks. He looked older now, but strong. His uniform was simple blue, no medals, just the name tag. Zethar stepped forward with his group. They wore bright robes. They carried staffs that glowed soft. "Ambassador," Zethar said, "we see you have grown, but the galaxy needs order. The Council offers you a way back. You may rejoin as full members, but you must follow our laws, share all tech, limit your ships, pay tribute for past years." Ava listened without moving. When he finished, she smiled. The same grin humans always used. "Thank you for the offer," she said. "We have thought about this day. Come, we will show you what we built." They walked through the station. Wide halls, soft lights. People worked at screens. Children ran past laughing. Aliens from other species sat at tables, eating and talking with humans. A blue-skinned trader waved at Ava. She waved back. They entered a big room with a round table and clear walls. Outside the walls, stars shone bright. Ships moved slow in the distance. Human ships, strong, clean. Ava pointed to a map on the wall. It showed human systems in blue. 35 dots, connected by thin lines. "This is our home now," she said. "We do not need council space. We do not need your trade. We do not need your permission." Zethar looked angry. "You forget who found you, who gave you the stars first." Ethan spoke then. His voice was quiet but firm. "You gave us limits. We took freedom. We used it." Ava continued. "We are self-sufficient. Our power lasts forever. Our food grows anywhere. Our medicine heals fast. Our ships fly where we want. We have friends now, not subjects, friends who choose to stay." She touched the map. New dots appeared in green, small species, the ones the council ignored. "They trade with us because we treat them fair. No big taxes, no endless rules, just honest deals." Zethar looked at his group. They whispered. One said, "Their tech looks better. Look at those engines." Zethar turned back. "You think you can stand alone? We have many ships, old power. We can force you." Ava's smile did not change. "You can try, But look around. Our border has no walls, because we do not fear you. If you attack, you lose more than we do. Your people will see. Your members will ask why they stay with you. She paused. Or, you can leave us be. We will not attack. We will not take your worlds. We just want to live free. Zethar stared hard. He wanted to shout, but he saw the truth in the room. No fear, no begging, just quiet strength. Ethan added one more thing. We remember the banishment. You said go. We went. Now we are here. Better, stronger, because of you. A long silence followed. Zethar finally spoke. We will take your answer back. The council will decide. Ava nodded. Safe journey home. The council group left. They walked back to their ships slow. No one spoke much. The doors closed. The gold ships pulled away. They jumped back to the core. On Gateway Station, Ava turned to Ethan. They will not attack, she said. They know it would cost too much. Ethan looked out at the stars. And if they do? Ava smiled wider. Then we defend what we built. But I think they will not. Far away in the council chamber, Zethar told the elders everything. They argued loud. Some wanted war. Most did not. They saw the pictures. They heard the words. In the end, no attack order came. Human space stayed open. More aliens came to trade. More stories spread. The council grew smaller in power. Their meetings became shorter. Their voices weaker. On New Beginning, President Olivia Grant, now very old, sat in a garden under a dome. Flowers bloomed around her. She looked at the sky through the clear roof. A young aide asked, "Do you think they will ever accept us again?" Olivia laughed soft. They already lost that chance. We do not need acceptance. We have freedom. She closed her eyes. The grin stayed on her face. Humanity had walked away. Now the galaxy walked toward them. Time moved forward like a steady river. The Galactic Council became smaller and quieter every year. Their grand chamber looked empty now. Many seats stayed dark. Old elders retired or passed away. New ones came, but they argued less and listened more. The power they once held slipped away like sand through fingers. Trade routes grew thin. Ships sat idle in docks. Member worlds looked elsewhere for help and hope. Human space grew brighter and stronger. 40 systems now shone with life. New worlds opened every few months. Cities rose on ice planets and desert moons. Green belts wrapped around rocky cores. People from many species walked the streets side by side. Blue traders sold bright cloth. Winged families taught young ones to fly in big domes. Six-legged friends helped dig tunnels and shared stories at night. No one ruled over anyone. Rules came from simple agreements. Fair deals, mutual help, that was enough. President Olivia Grant lived long enough to see it all. She sat in a small house on New Beginning. The house looked over a wide valley. Flowers grew thick outside the window. A soft rain fell sometimes, fed by machines in the sky. Olivia's hair was white now. Her hands shook a little, but her eyes stayed sharp. One evening, a group of young leaders came to visit. They sat around her table. They asked questions. They wanted to know about the old days. Olivia smiled, the same small grin that started everything. They told us to leave, she said in a soft voice. They thought we would break without them. They thought exile meant the end. She looked out at the valley. Lights twinkled from new homes far below. Instead, we found the beginning. No chains, no endless votes, just work and ideas. We built what we needed. We helped those who asked. We walked our own path. A young woman named Mia asked, "Do you ever miss the council? The big meetings? The old trade?" Olivia laughed quiet. We learned from them. We learned what not to do. We learned freedom tastes better than permission. She leaned back. The galaxy changed because we left, not because we fought, because we walked away and kept building. The visitors nodded. They understood. They lived it every day. Across human space, life flowed easy but strong. Captain Lucas Hayes still flew. His hair turned gray. His ship, Starpath, carried him to new edges. He checked colonies. He met friends. He watched stars pass by. One trip he stopped at Hope's Edge. Ava Rivera now led the whole system. She stood on a high platform that looked over a new city. Towers rose from warm caves. Lights glowed blue and gold. People moved below like ants working together. Lucas joined her. They watched the sunset made by the dome lights. They never came back to fight, Ava said. Lucas nodded. They knew better. War costs too much when the other side does not need you, and now they need us. Their traders come asking for power cells. Their sick come for our medicine. Their young ones study in our schools. Lucas looked at the horizon. We do not turn them away, but we do not bow either. They stood in silence. The Grinned stayed between them. In the old council chamber, the last big meeting happened. Zethar was gone. A new elder, named Lyra, spoke. She was younger. Her voice carried no anger. We face a choice, she said. Our way fades, their way grows. We can keep old pride and shrink, or we can learn. The room stayed quiet. No shouts, no threats. One by one, lights turned green. Not for war, for change. They voted to open talks, not to rule, to listen. A small ship left council space. It carried no demands, just a simple message. We wish to speak, as equals. It arrived at Gateway Station. Ava met them again. This time the room had more chairs. Humans sat next to aliens from many worlds. No thrones, no staffs, just people. The council envoy spoke first. We see what you built. We see our mistakes. We ask to learn, to trade, to share. No control, just open doors. Ava listened. She looked around the table. Eyes met hers. Nods came from every side. She smiled. We accept, as equals, fair trade, no tribute, no limits, help when asked, freedom for all. Hands touched in the human way. Wings fluttered happy. Eyes glowed soft. The room filled with quiet talk. News spread fast, not as victory, as a new start. On Earth, now a quiet museum world, people visited old places. The presidential office still stood. Windows looked over green parks. A sign read, "They told us to leave, so we did, and we took the best parts of the galaxy with us." Children read it. They smiled. They understood. Admiral William Carter lived long too. He retired to a small farm under a yellow sun. He planted trees. He watched ships fly overhead. One evening he stood on his porch. Stars filled the sky. A young officer visited. "Sir, the council sent thanks today. They use our power design now. Their worlds light up again." William looked up. "Good. Let them have light." He turned to the officer. "Tell me, do they still talk about the banishment?" The officer nodded. "They call it the Great Lesson." William laughed soft. "Lesson for them, gift for us." He pointed to the stars. "Look out there. We started small. We walked away. Now the galaxy follows our path. Not because we forced it, because we showed it." The officer smiled. "And the grin?" William's eyes twinkled. "The grin endures. Always will." Night fell. Stars shone bright. Ships moved between worlds. Voices spoke in many tongues. Deals happened fair. Help came quick. No one bowed. No one ruled. Humanity did not conquer the galaxy. It simply walked away when told to go. And in walking away, it built something greater. Something free. Something strong. Something that lasted. The Grinned stayed. Not in anger. Not in pride. In quiet joy. They had been banished, they had grinned, they had walked, and the stars never looked the same again.